Hey guys, Levi Gates for the Rag Company, and welcome back to DETALKS. With me, Mr. Yvan Lacroix of Optimum Polymer Technologies. How are you, my friend?
Great, yourself.
I am very happy because you're here. We've gotten to be able to hang out, do some videos, have some talks, eat some food.
Yeah.
I'm going to shake that bottle off the table here.
Exactly.
I don't have my arms anymore. But this one, we kind of wanted to talk about. You've been writing some articles that have been being posted in all the different groups and things like that. But on a topic that everybody needs to understand, but I don't think a lot of guys
want to understand
it or do understand it. But when you actually break it down, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are at home, or maybe you do this for just yourself and you're only detailing your two cars, this may be over your head. But for business owners and detailers who are doing this for a living and making their money every day to pay for their mortgage and their kids and house and car and all that, this is really important.
Yeah.
Because we're basically talking about, we're not managing the customer's expectations. We're going to be managing the detailer's expectations.
Definitely. And whether it's our own as the business owner or our employees, managing our own expectations or the detailer's expectations is a lot harder than managing the customer's expectations. And everybody talks about managing the customer's expectations, but in paint correction, and that's what we're going to focus on here, managing our own expectations is where it gets really difficult.
Well, and we all want to make a car beautiful. And as detailers, we want to make it gorgeous.
We spent years trying to learn how to make a paint go from this scratched up, blemished surface to a mirror on wheels.
The problem is there's not many people out there, one, willing to pay to have you do everything that you want to do to the surface of a vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, you can't walk into a detail shop, I hope not.
No.
That you'll walk into a detail shop and you'll tell the detailer, hey, I need you to wet sand this panel for the whole car for me. I want every single panel wet sanded. I want it started with 800, then 1,000, then 15, then 2,000, then 3,000, maybe finish it with 5. Then I need you to do a 3 or 4 step compound and polish process. Then I want you to ceramic coat the car.
Right.
If a customer walks in and says they want all that from you,
for $20,000, we're good to go.
You tell them $20,000. Because the amount of time you're going to be spending on that vehicle, the amount of shop time, the amount of labor that is involved in that.
And the cost of sandpaper.
And the cost of sandpaper is not feasible unless you charge a lot.
Yeah.
Now, if you walk into a shop and you demand or ask for all those things, and the guy goes, yeah, man, $150. That's not good either.
No.
Because they're probably not skilled. They obviously don't value their work enough to be able to do that. But it's not just that much stuff. It can be as simple as a 2 or 3 step polish on a car.
Yeah.
Or teaching your customers and showing them scratches and defect removal and lights.
Definitely.
Like, you want to have a menu for your customers to order from.
Right.
And as detailers, we kind of want to do 1 steps all day.
That is the most profitable way of doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, your customers, like you mentioned a menu. You go into a restaurant, you order a hot dog, they're not going to give you a steak because you look a little hungrier than a hot dog.
Yeah.
No, you ordered a hot dog. They might offer you a chili cheese dog, but no, you're not going to get a steak.
Yeah, they might give you the chili cheese for free, or hey, 25 cents more, 50 cents more.
Free is a very bad word.
We will add that on there for you on that hot dog.
Exactly.
And you can be like, okay, go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You're not expecting a steak at a hot dog price.
No. And the customer that walks into your shop expecting a steak at a hot dog price, send them somewhere else.
Yeah, it's probably not the customer you want.
Or educate them. But in paint correction, the sanding and all that, and the 3-step correction and all that, we have a very minimal amount of paint to deal with, to begin with, when it's factory paint. Now, you've got experts out there like Jason Kilmer. If those of you that don't know One Wing or Jason, spectacular guy. He knows what he's doing, but the vehicles that he works on have so much clear coat put on them because they know, the person painting it knows that Jason is going to be spending 600, 800, 1,000 hours on it, wet sanding and polishing and wet sanding and polishing to perfection. And Jason gets to perfection. But those vehicles are designed for that. And he doesn't just charge $150 either. No. And he'll spend, like literally, he'll spend close to 1,000 hours on a vehicle. But those vehicles, they're painted for that service. Factory paint is not meant for that. Factory paint is on average about 100 microns thick, and the clear coat portion of it is about 50 microns.
Yeah.
Now, when we're compounding and polishing, we're removing that paint. Paint is a finite resource, and it's non-renewable.
Technically, we only have those 50 microns to work with.
Right, and you remove too much of that, guess what? You're causing paint damage.
Well, and the problem is there are guys that are, I had a customer once did this.
Yeah.
He had an E55 AMG that was
Yeah.
black, and it was a little rough.
Yeah.
So I went through and I wet sanded it, and I compounded it, and I polished it,
Yeah.
and I got it looking really good.
Yeah.
And I tried to sell them on a coating.
Yeah.
They didn't want it.
No.
Just good coat of wax, be just fine. I said, all right, but a coating would at least expand the life. It would make it a little more protected.
Yes.
I always say basically it's like a winter coat and a snowsuit kind of thing that is going to help.
Yeah.
Wax is like a shirt and shorts.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
not a lot of protection there from the elements.
No.
So they said, no, wax is good enough. So,
Yeah.
all right, well, that's up to you guys. You keep it on there. So we waxed it for them. They brought it back 2 years later.
Yeah.
They never brought it back in that time period to get a reapplication of wax. I didn't know if the customer maybe had decided to wax it for himself. It was out of my hands.
Yeah.
Showed back up, and he goes, I want you to do everything that you did to it the last time.
Yeah.
I can't do that. He said, well, why not? I said, there is not enough clear on this surface of this car to do that one more time.
Right.
And he said, well, I need you to make it look as nice as it was before. And I said, okay, how have you been caring for it? Well, I didn't do anything. I've been running it through a car wash
Yeah.
every week since you guys detailed it. That's why I brought it back to you. I need it to look good again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can do a one-step polish on it,
Yeah.
and I can put a sealant, or I can offer you a ceramic coating, and we'll make it, we'll hopefully make it better. And we did a test panel, and we did a one-step on it.
Yeah.
We weren't going to get all those scratches out.
No.
Because they're so deep, and our paint dipness gauge was right on the edge.
Yeah.
It was right on that point where we were like,
If it had a red flashing light, it would be going crazy.
it would be beeping, going like, you're too close, you're going to break through. And
Yeah.
so we had to explain to him, like, this is the best we can do. And he was, arguably upset,
Yes.
but we had educated him, said, this car wasn't properly cared for the first time. We had to do a lot to resurrect it, but we did everything to the limit that we possibly could.
Yeah.
You knew your next step was going to have to be to paint it, or have
Yeah.
a new respray done on it, because that was it.
Exactly.
And a lot of customers don't understand that, but a lot of detailers don't understand that.
No, because
and those detailers could have gone, sure, we'll do that, and then they have burn failures. They
Exactly.
have spots where they went through the clear coat, and now they're on the hook as a business to fix the damage that they incurred.
Right.
Even though it may have been the customer's fault
yeah.
for asking you to do that, you as the detailer should understand, should know,
You're the last one to have touched the vehicle.
if you were the last one, you should be able to, let your customer know, hey, this isn't going to work.
No, definitely.
We're not going to be able to get what you want out of this.
Yeah.
And I can't, in all good faith, go that hard into your paint.
No. And as detailers, we have this desire to make the cars perfect. And we have, these fancy lights now. When I started detailing, the only thing we had to gauge what we were doing is drive the car out into the sun.
Yeah.
And that was our gauge. Then we got the Brinkmann light. Remember those?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Little dual light thing. And that was our next level of gauge. And we'd check it out in the sun. It looked perfect. You'd put the Brinkmann on it. Oh, well, there's still a scratch here, and there's still a scratch there. And we'd polish again and get rid of the scratches with the Brinkmann. Then, those of us that had a little more money, we got a sun gun. Ooh,
Yeah. Yep.
that
Remember
made,
those?
throw the Brinkmann away. We got a sun gun now. Then we got these high power LEDs and these Cree LEDs, and all the technology of the lights keeps evolving, making us damage the paint more and more and more because we're removing more and more paint.
And yes, you are going to have customers that are educated, and they are going to have their own paying, they're going to have their own pens and lights, and yes, you can buy those products here at the Rag Company.
Yeah, definitely.
And
they're good tools to have.
They're good to have, but at some point, 90% of your customers are going to be either looking at their car in their garage, which they probably don't have a lighting setup like this in their garage, or similar to your detail shop. The other thing is they're going to be looking at their car
outside in the sun,
when they're at the grocery store, when they're at a car show, when they're at an event or Cars and Coffee or something like that.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to be seeing their car most of the time.
Yeah, they don't have a 747 landing light pointing at their car at a 10-degree angle looking for scratches.
Yeah.
And they're not this close to the vehicle looking for scratches either. So,
well, and I had detailers that, as my guys got better and better at polishing paint, they wanted to do more.
Exactly.
And they'd get in their head and they're like, man, let me just do another process on this car. Let me just do one more step on it. I can really get this thing to look great. And I'd say, no, because I'm not paying you for that. And the customer who's paying me to have you do this isn't paying me to do it.
And the customer won't see the difference.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We've all done this. We've delivered a car to a customer. We're cringing because to us, it still doesn't look good. The customer is like, oh my God, I've never seen my car look this good before.
Yeah.
And we're like, are you sure?
Yeah. And I had customers, I'd only wash the outside.
Yeah.
I would only detail the interior of their vehicle. And on every interior detail we did at my detail shop,
a quick wash.
We give you a free wash and we dress your tires.
Yeah.
We do the windows inside and out and we park it outside. And that was it.
And they think you polished the car.
Yep, but it was because I parked every single car in the right spot at my shop so that when the sun was setting, when they were coming to pick it up, the light hit it just right, that no matter how, whether we detailed it, whether we did a correction, whether we did a coating, or whether we just did a hand wash, that car looked spectacular.
Yeah.
And the light hit it just right, it caught all the angles, and the customers would walk up and go, never seen my car look this good before.
Yeah.
What did you guys put on it? Nothing.
We washed it.
We washed it. That was it. And they're like, never looks this good when I take it to the car wash. Good.
Yeah.
That's all that's awesome.
Exactly.
But they instantly thought maybe we had polished. You guys weren't supposed to buff it. That looks amazing.
Exactly.
We didn't do that. We washed it. They're not going to notice that half the time.
No. And the difference between 1 step, 2 steps, and 3 steps is often unnoticeable.
Yeah.
To an untrained eye. To us, immensely noticeable. I did a clinic at a shop in Poland, a beautiful shop, and they had on the wall these plaques. And the one plaque was a before and after of a 1-step polish, the other plaque was a before and after of a 2-step, and the third one was a before and after of a 3-step polish. Most of the customers that walk in there ask them, what's the difference between these 3? They can't see the difference.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, to a detailer, we're like, oh yeah, that's a 1-step. It looks like crap. This one, that's okay. And, oh yeah, this is much better. But literally, most customers can't see the difference. We have this disease. We pull up to a stoplight.
We can see everything.
We see a black car with swirls. We see a red car with wash marring, and we see a white car that needs Fair-X. Mm-hmm. The customer, they see a black BMW, a red Chevy, and a white Volkswagen.
Yeah. Yeah. So. My wife laughs at me because I'll see a car and I'll go, whoa, do you see those swirls in that? Yeah. Or it'll pass by and I'll go, man, someone forgot how to wash their car because they missed, maybe there's a triangle of dirt.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that car next to us, they didn't wash it very good. She goes, it looks fine to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. But that's how it is. As detailers, our eyes are designed to look for defects.
Right.
But as detailers, we need to understand that if we're going to teach our customers that, we also need to teach them the pricing to remove that.
Exactly.
And the amount of time and work involved. Because again, there are detailers that get into this thing where they're like, oh man, I spent 10 hours and I did a 1-step on my car.
Yeah.
And you're like, it was a small sedan and it was silver and you spent 10 hours 1-stepping it.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. How long did it take you to do a fender?
Did you spend 9 hours posting it on Instagram?
Right, yeah, because in my shop, I would have fired him.
Yeah.
Like, you've cost me way too much money. If you're still on this car a day and a half later and you've only done 1 step, where have you been? Did you go to lunch? Like, for the rest of did you take half the day off? Did you disappear? Like, were you in the bathroom that long? Like 8 hours? Like, Because my guys were optimized and
Yes.
efficient that they could get a car done with a typical one-step, just in polishing, they could get it at least done in an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
And the car would be finished and good to go and ready to be on its way.
Exactly.
You know? And so the key is to, one, as a business owner, as a detailer, make sure your customers know what they're getting.
Yeah.
Train them on what their expectations are.
Yeah.
Find out. Also, find out how they care for it.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of guys go, I'm going to put 10 hours into this one step. It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to put I'm going to sell them a ceramic coating on this thing. It's going to be best $2,000 they ever spent. And then and you don't tell the customer's like, yeah, I'm going to run it through the car wash. That's way easier. I run it through the car wash 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, I've got this pass on the windshield. I just drive up to the car wash. The gate opens. I drive in.
The car looks great. Car looks awesome.
Yeah.
Every year it looks awesome. I'll bring it into you to get it detailed. Why are you selling them coating? Why are you selling them, that you're putting in that much time into the process of it? Yeah. If they're happy with just clean and shiny, clean and shiny could be shiny and scratched.
Yeah. People like shiny scratches.
Yeah, they don't care about that. And especially if they're going to keep putting those scratches in. Now, if this is a high-end sports car or it's their pride and joy, and
Garage Queen,
and they show it and they are trained on it and they only use the best products, then yes, educate, learn your customer, talk to your customer, speak to them, find out how they care for it, how they wash it, how they store it.
Yeah.
Learn that, because that'll make you a better client or business owner for your customer.
There's one question you should always lead into with your customers. Why are you here?
Yeah.
And then the follow-up question, can you pay me? No. The follow-up question is, how are you going to maintain your vehicle?
Yeah. Then if they're like, well, we've got the car wash sticker on the window and we just really want to get the interior cleaned and we'd like to put a sealant on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll clean the interior and I'll put some sealant on it for you. Because if you're going to wash it, there's no sense in me polishing it. No. You're going to it's going to get scratched next week. The moment you run it through that car wash. And yes, if maybe they're running a rinseless wash, and they say, oh, my wife I only use this type of car wash. Yeah. My wife accidentally took it through this car wash and it scratched it, and I'd like to get it back to where it was before. Do a spot test on there and show them and go, well, this is what a one-step looks like. And if they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What does that cost? Sell them on a one-step. Yeah. But if you're instantly like, hold on, let me get my sandpaper out. Let me get, my rotary. Let me get this polisher. Let me get this polisher. All right, we're gonna mask off this square, and you pull all that out to show them, and they go, "It's awesome. How much is that gonna cost? $4,000." Yeah. They're gonna be like,
"It's a $2,000 Civic.
Do you have anything else?" So always start with just a one-step. Show the customer that. Don't go too deep down the rabbit hole with them, because they're not gonna need that. And train your employees. Yes, they want to be good at doing those projects and those kind of things. And at my shop, I had a small dealership account that gave us dealer cars that if my guys really wanted to work that hard and practice, I'd tell them, come in on a Saturday, work on one of these cars out here and hone your skills. Right. You want to play with a rotary on a truck? Go for it.
But on your clock.
Yeah, but it's you on your own time coming in here and doing it. I'm not going to pay you to try and do a 2 or 3 step truck for a dealership that only wants a 1 step and it needs to be out of here yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get it done and get it on its way. Yeah. But if you want to come in, you want to spend a Saturday and you want to figure it out on your own time, go for it. Or, hey guys, see this thing back here? It's a junkyard hood. You can go to the junkyard, they're $40, pick one up, play with it. Have your guys play with it. Have them do all the stuff they want to do to it. Get your paint thickness gauge, have them check it, find out, see. Or put one of these in your shop and do a stripe comparison. This is a 1 step. This is a 2 step. Here's a 3 step. Here's the prices for each of those procedures, and here's what the paint actually looks like. Exactly. Give them something so that they can look at it and go, oh, that actually looks really good. Yeah. Put up a nice light by it so it glows and shines, because 90% of the time they're going to choose the 1 step, or they're not going to notice. Yeah, notice the difference between, other than, oh, there's a line here. And honestly, how many times have you and I heard, it's a brand new car, it doesn't need anything? Exactly. We've heard that a lot. Just put the coating on it. Yeah. No, we're still going to polish it. But, polishing,
over polishing a vehicle is dangerous.
Yeah.
We only have, like I said, about 50 microns of clear, and every time you polish it, you're removing it. Does your customer want to keep their car only 2 years? No. Painting a car is more expensive than replacing the engine. So we want to keep that, we want to preserve that paint as long as we can. And by not chasing every scratch and going after everything, just rounding over the edges of the scratch, making them less noticeable. Not every customer is going to sit there with a scan grip light on an angle at 6 inches from their paint inspecting it. Most of them, they're standing 5 feet from their car going, oh my God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and we're not talking about going, that hack lifestyle.
No.
And, only ever do one steps, but educate your customers the right way.
Right.
Because there's too many guys that are getting into this going, and I've heard guys say this, I'm just doing what's right for my customers.
I only do 3 steps.
I don't want to hurt, I want to do what's right. That's fine. Do what you got to do. But know that there's a limit to what you can do for your customers, especially if you're like me and you had customers that always came back to you.
Yeah.
And for me, some of those customers, I actually joke, and you guys have seen it before, I'd actually put gloss coat on some of my customers, return customer cars that I knew I was going to get every 4 or 5 times a year.
Just because it made it easier.
Because it made it easier on me and my team, and it made their car look better. So that all they had to do was bring it to us, and we'd wash it, we'd clean it.
Yeah.
We were the ones taking care of it. So I'd foot the bill for the gloss coat. I wouldn't charge my customers that. I'd just put that on instead of the sealant or the wax they wanted. And then they'd go, man, my car looks so good. This is amazing. I love, you guys take such good care of it. It's because of your detail shop that my car looks that way. And I tell all my friends about it.
Exactly.
Well, the gloss coat might be doing most of it, and the maintenance washes that me and my team do. They're the ones that's what's really keeping it nice.
But you're not having to polish the car every year.
I'm not having to polish it every year.
Exactly.
I'm not having to, chase all these little scratches, because maybe the minor scratch resistance that's on the vehicle has helped save me a couple times.
Right.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is proper education of your customers. And if you allow them to choose and pick what they want based on your pricing, you're going to be happier, because you're not going to be spending 10 hours doing it one step.
No.
You're going to be able to do it in 1 hour. You're going to be able to get it out. You're going to be able to get it out maybe 2 hours, get the whole car finished and back to them.
Yep.
And they're going to be happy. They're going to get what they've wanted.
You're going to have much happier customers, and a lot more customers too. If you can do 10 cars in that 10-hour span instead of 1 car, that's 9 additional customers.
Yeah. It's really great, and that's the whole goal of this, guys, is to just make sure you educate your customers and educate your detailers yourselves and your employees to know what they actually need to do to a vehicle. Not everybody needs a full show car cut and polish. Some cars only need that quick one step, or just even a wax, or maybe even just a wash.
Exactly.
And the customer is going to be happy, thrilled, and excited. So thank you, Yvan, for coming out. I appreciate that.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, and you guys can check out Yvan Lacroix at Optimum on Yvan. What? Say it.
Yeah, you guys can check out.
You guys can check out Yvan at Yvan Lacroix on Facebook and Instagram, Yvan with a Y.
Yes.
And you can email him at ivan@opticoat.com if you guys have any other questions for him. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share. We love it when you share these videos around. We really appreciate it. So as always, continue to check out more videos right here on the Rag Company YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.